I wanted to show you all a fiddle that I made several months ago. This is number 281, named Luna. And I made a video of her when she was finished a while back. And what happened was over the weeks, in the month or two, she developed a wolf note. Like the open A string was like really wolfy. And I tried everything to try to get rid of the wolf, and all the adjustments, sound post, bridge, tailpiece, strings, to no avail. And so it was a pretty good fiddle, except for that one note, and it was a note that you play all the time, in the open A. So I took the top off and I experimented with adding some mass here and there and changing the bass bar, and the top was a little thin in certain places, um, thinner than what I should have done it. So anyway, I modified the top, put it back on, and strung her up and tried again. And the wolf note was gone, but the rest of the voice and personality fiddle changed. It was not as focused, not as loud. Um, and I thought I could do better than that. This fiddle could do better than that. And so, in frustration, I started taking the top off again. And while I was doing it, I damaged the ribs on the bass side of the fiddle, and cut into them with my parting knife a little bit too much, and actually went right through some of the ribs and ruined it. And so I thought, okay, I took the top off and it was a mess. So I decided the rest of the fiddle was too pretty and sounded too good originally to just trash. So I rebuilt the ribs uh, on this side. This is the bass side. Turn it upside down. The lower bout, the middle bout, the upper bout ribs. I rebuilt, took those ribs completely off, the ones that were torn into, and kind of had to modify the corner blocks and the end blocks, tail block, neck block, and the linings, and kind of build the fiddle back in reverse, which was quite a challenge, but I did it, and applied the dye and the varnish to make it match. Uh, these were the original ribs, and I got a pretty good match, except the wood was different that I had to use, the maple. So um, this lower bout looks pretty much like the rest of the ribs, but the center bout does too a little bit, but the upper bout doesn't have as much flame. It's got some flame in it. You can see from a different angle, but not as much as the old ribs had. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all cosmetic. And I carved a brand new top. Started from scratch with a billet of spruce, and carved a brand new top for it, and tried to match the coloring and the varnish to the rest of the fiddle. I got it fairly close. It wasn't a perfect match, but it was. It's, if you didn't know it was a new top, you probably wouldn't notice. And I built the top differently. I arched it a little differently, and I changed my thickness graduation dimensions to make sure that there wouldn't be a wolf note. And there's certain things you could do to not take a chance of having wolf notes. And finally put the top back on. It matched up um, pretty well to the new ribs on this side uh, and that side. And I was really surprised when it was kind of a salvage procedure, but it really turned out well. The sound, just a great playing fiddle now, and it sounds just really beautiful. Of course, it's clear as a bell, no wolf notes, and loud and easy to play, and actually sounded better than ever. And so it's a keeper. And so I just wanted to show it to y'all and play it a little bit if I can. and see how she sounds. I'm very happy with it. I was out playing yesterday at a gig and I played it and it was real happy with it. It really performed well. That's the true test, when you're testing fiddles, if you're testing them at home or at wherever you're going to look at fiddles. You get a kind of fair idea of what it's doing, but there's nothing like playing it at a gig or a jam session and playing along with other instruments and playing different tunes and different difficult passages. And that's where it tells you what it really is. Some fiddles sound nice and powerful and loud under your chin, but when you're in a jam session, they can be swallowed up by the other instruments, and vice versa. The fiddle could be sounding very kind of quiet at home, but if you're out playing and that same fiddle, it could be surprisingly projecting well. And so that's the real test of a fiddle. So I got this shoulder rest, this funky looking shoulder rest. It's a Kun shoulder rest, Kun. And I've had trouble having my fiddle slip on depending what kind of shirt or vest I'm wearing, having it slip while I'm playing, where I have to kind of constantly pull it up under my chin again, or hold it up with my, left hand, which the left hand should just be playing notes, not holding the fiddle up. And I covered the chin rest with the adhesive back sandpaper and I wrapped a rubber band a few times around it to sandpaper catches the material on your clothing and it keeps it from slipping. And the rubber band also, it's not to hold it together or anything, it's mainly just to add more traction to it. And I think it works pretty well. And the other thing I'm going to do is I've realized that these Guarneri chin rests are pretty, it's a nice design, but they don't have much of a cup in them compared to other chin rests. To be able to hook under your mandible, your jawbone, to bring your chin down or your jaw down on it to hold it from slipping out. And I ordered another chin rest, didn't come in yet. It's called the Stuber model. And it has a nice deep cup in it and a nice big high ridge right here. But this part here is carved down. So when you put it under your side of it's not really your chin that goes on the chin rest, it's your jaw, the side of your jaw, and the bone called the mandible. And this part right here on these design chin rests, for me anyway, it's too high and it kind of pushes up on your mandible. So on the Stuber model chin rest, this is carved downwards, so it accommodates for the shape of your mandible, but it's higher here where the front of your jawbone can hook it. So with that, you can apply just a slight amount of head tilt to anchor it on your collarbone without having to crank down on it, which is not safe to do for your neck joints. And anyway, that's a whole different issue. But that has helped my playing a lot. So anyway, this is the new Luna, new moon, the new Luna. Yeah, she's got it. Better than ever. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for letting me share the new Luna with you. Real happy with her. And again, thanks for watching. Take care.